Hi guys, my name is Ogbugo. If this is your first time on this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you can keep getting more videos like the one I'm about to share with you guys right now. And don't forget to comment. And please, if you really like this video, give it a like. You understand? Give it a like so that the YouTube algorithm is going to share this video to as many people as possible. So let's get right into the video. So in this video, we're going to be talking about budgeting, specifically how to stick to your budget. People tell me all the time, I tried budgeting this month and it didn't work. I blew my budget. I'm always over my budget. And so these 6 tips are going to help you stick as close to your budget as possible. And before I get into this video, I want you to keep in mind that budgeting is about progress, not perfection. So whatever you're thinking about having a perfect budget every single month, let it go, because sometimes that's the thing that makes people not actually work on their budget, not actually attempt to budget also. So let go of that perfection and instead think of your budgeting as a goal and work as close to you, because sometimes that's the thing that makes people not actually work on their budget, not actually attempt to budget. So let go of that perfection and instead think of your budget as a work in progress, and your goal is to get as close to your plan as possible. And if you don't, then it's okay to reset for the next month. So when it comes to budgeting, it doesn't have to be scary or overwhelming. And if you're in that space, I highly encourage you to find a budgeting method that works for you. A lot of people feel overwhelmed about their budgeting method because they're following a style that doesn't fit into their lifestyle. So it could be using a spreadsheet, using an app, using a notebook and paper. Ideally, you want to test out these different methods and styles and actually find a style and method that works best for you and fits into your lifestyle. However, it's important to keep in mind that in order to achieve your financial goals, in order to achieve the things that your money can help you attain, you're going to have a plan for your money so that you'll be able to tell your money what to do for you and in a monthly basis. So let's get into 6 key tips that help you stick to your budget. The first thing you want to do is call it something fun. Who says a budget has to be called a budget? As a matter of fact, I've talked to some people who just the idea of budgets has completely demotivated them from even wanting to attempt to create one. So call your budget something fun. Call it a plan. Call it because I'm so amazing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to ditch this. I'm going to do that. I'm so fabulous. I'm building wealth. I'm building wealth plan. Call it something that inspires you to want to look at it every day, to open that app, to open that spreadsheet, something that gets you excited. There's no rule that says your budget has to be called a budget. The second key tip is that you want to create a budget in advance to every single month. This way you have an idea to what expenses are coming up. No 2 months are the same. So 1 month you might have a friend's baby shower to go to or a project. Another month you might have a road trip with your family or some expenses, maybe in the family, cooking and everything. So you want to make sure that you plan your budget in advance to every month, so that once that month comes around, you're not scrambling or you're not even overwhelmed by trying to create a budget in the middle month. So take some time out, like 30 minutes or an hour, like few days before the month begins, and lay out your income and expenses, and also the expenses that you know are coming up. So you have 2 types of expenses. You're going to have those recurring month expenses that you pay every month, like if you're a girl, your monthly visitor, your toiletries and everything like that. And you're also going to have those expenses that may not necessarily be expenses that you pay very often. So either you look at each month on its own, you can start to determine one of those expenses and build them into your budget. So it's really important that you have a plan for your budget every month. I know that there are people out there who create budgets 6 months in advance or 12 months in advance, and that's okay to have your long-term budget created. But I would highly encourage you that, again, at the beginning or before the beginning of the month starts, just sit down with that budget you already created and go over it in your head. Then build in at least one-time expenses, and that thing you know would be happening in that month, or as that budget that you know would be necessary for the next few months. As you see things change in your income or expenses, the next step is about, don't assume that every single month is going to be the same. Life happens, things change. You may have one-time expenses, but you may also have unplanned expenses. And so because no 2 months are the same, and because we cannot predict the future, I highly recommend building emergency savings into your budget. So if you haven't maxed out your emergency fund yet, build them into your budget, that you will contribute a certain amount into that e-fund until that fund is maxed out. You also want to see if you have a sinking fund for specific plans and expenses that you know are coming out, things that just come up out of the blue, a wedding you have to attend, things like that, maybe contribution you just have to make for a friend or something. You want to know what you have to, money you have to put aside, and create a budget for it. Put it into your budget as well, so that you're now contributing every single month into your emergency fund and also into your sinking fund. So tip number 4 is you want to base your budget into your projected income for that month. So how much do you know you're going to make, or do you think you're going to make in this month or next month? Then use that to establish your budget for that month. And the reason why I highlight this tip is because a lot of times people just assume that they'll take their annual salary and divide it by 12, and that's going to be the amount they'll use every month. However, there are going to be months where you get a bonus or a tax refund, or somebody just gives you money, or you are earned less, or for whatever reason or whatever, or if you're looking for a new job, or you get laid off, or you stop getting the allowances you're getting. So you just want to start projecting your income for every month. And as you project your income for every month, you also plan for those months you're earning more. The last thing you want to happen is have more money coming in but not have a plan for it, because when you don't have a plan for that extra money you earn, a lot of time it can very easily slip through your finger, and you don't want that to happen, because it has happened to me before. So if you get a bonus or a tax refund or extra money that you know that is coming in, build that into your budget, and you can build it into your fun stuff: shopping, traveling, going out with friends, whatever you know that extra income can help you do. You just want to make sure you build in every dollar, every naira that is coming in. It's really important. You don't just want that extra money to slip through your fingers and then you wonder where that went every month. Tip number 5, you want to pay your expenses before you go out, and that means paying yourself out, making those transfers to your savings, to your e-funds, to your sinking funds, to whatever obligations you have. If you have tithes to pay, you want to make sure you pay yourself. You pay your expenses first before you go out shopping, before you go out hanging out with your girlfriends. It's all about making sure that the necessary is covered first before you spend on the non-necessary or the non-essential part. This way, no matter what happens, you know that all your bills are paid and all your core financial obligations are met. And whatever you have over, you can then make use of it without feeling guilty. Then my final tips to help you stick to your budget is to track your spending. I'm a huge fan of using a spending journal, and this just helps you to track how you're spending, track your actuals against the amount you've budgeted for each category of your budget as you make progress for the month, so you can see how you're doing with your project. The last thing you want to do is just spend and then pay, and then at the end of the month you try to figure out what went wrong or what cost you to go over your budget. You want to be tracking your spendings and your expenses as you make the transactions and as you make the payments. So I love a spending journal, and what I do is that I keep my receipts at the end of the month, and I just write down what I spent in my journal. And so every few days and every couple of weeks and at the end of the month, I can go over my spending journal to see how I'm doing with my spending as it compares to my budget. You don't have to use a spending journal. I just like it personally. You can actually use an app to help you track this, or a spreadsheet. The whole idea is just to keep an an eye on your spending and monitor how much you're spending compared to how much you've budgeted for, this will help you stay on track with your budget. Another great thing about tracking your spending is that once the month concludes, you can go over all your spendings and all your expenses and see what areas needs to be adjusted in your budget. Are there areas that you should have budgeted for and you forgot about, or are there new categories that you need to add into your budget? Reviewing your spending for the prior month based on what you've tracked will help you do this. So those are my 6 key tips to help you stick to your budget. And as you walk through your budget on a month by month basis, like I said at the beginning, it's all about progress, not perfection. So today, pick one of these tips that you're going to work on implementing to help you stick to your budget, and once you have it in place, then pick the second one, and then the third, and then the fourth, and the fifth, and then the sixth, to help you stay out, to help you stick to your budget and stay close to your plan each month as possible. Be sure please to subscribe to this channel, click on the notification bell, and don't forget to comment. If you're really learning something from this, what I actually do is that I read about it. I've watched Smart Money Woman and I'm really learning a lot from it. I'm really reading deep into finances these days and money and all those stuff, investing and everything. So I'm just really coming in here to share all that I've learned with you guys. It's not as if I'm any financial analyst or businesswoman or anything like that. No, I'm still a student, but I'm learning and I just really want to share with you guys. So that's the disclaimer. And the point is that when you start learning, when you actually meet all these in the future, it's going to be very easy for you to actually maneuver the life challenges and everything, because you have an idea on what to do as at when to do that. So that's just what I'm making use of this platform for. I also share faith videos, and I know you would really want to hear about God from me.